People easily access needs within a 15-minute commute. You telling me I can get it from west side to the east side in 15 minutes at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., and get my coffee? Sign me up. Sign me up. I'm pumped. What's up, everybody? This is Drip Club. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Chris, aka Lil Andy, aka Chris, aka Drip Club. So I thought this next story was pretty cool, and not just very cool. I thought it was actually amazing. I kind of thought that building a new city was you can't do that anymore, right? It's 2021. All the cities that we got are the cities that we got, and all you can go is down because it's a fucking city, right? That's not the case. Drinking on a quad today, not a sponsor. Delicious. Keeps me going. It's a good replacement for soda. Former Walmart president reveals plan for $400 billion utopian city in the U.S. desert. Yes! Yes, we like that. That's generally got me hyped. There's so many great cities being built. There's Slime City, which I'm going to do a video on, Young Thug's Slime City. And we also have this new city by former Walmart president Mark Lore. I'm hyped. He helped outline a plan for a $400 billion metropolis, the new city in America, to be built in the desert if properly funded. I wonder where he's going to get this money from. I wonder what it's going to be called. I wonder what their sports teams are going to be. Lore's mission statement for the city of Telosa is to create a more equitable and sustainable future that can become a blueprint for future generations. That's backed by a 150,000-acre design proposal with eco-friendly architecture, sustainable energy production, and a drought-resistant water system. This is great. Where's the catch? A focal point of the city, set to house around 5 million, will be its transportation, with Telosa streets prioritizing bikes and pedestrians. You lost me. You lost me at fucking bikes. I hate motherfuckers on bicycles. Always riding too close to me, always riding too fucking slow, just getting in the fucking way. As well as slow-moving autonomous cars. That's sweet. Over fossil fuel-dependent vehicles elsewhere. I like. Electric cars are the future, folks. The official website for Telosa, there's an official website, cites that 1 billion people will be affected by climate change in 2050. More. The whole world. The figure falls in line with the United Nations Climate Change Report in August dubbed the Code Red for Humanity, noting that Earth could reach 1.5 Celsius by 2040. I don't read in Celsius. I read in Fahrenheit. That tells me nothing, and I'm not going to do the conversion, because I'm an American, goddammit. And I don't say that facetiously. Look at that. That's sweet. This would be the world if Young Thug dropped that punk album. This is dope. We like that. It's unclear what American desert is being targeted for the project. Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Arizona, Texas, and the Appalachian region are all options. Isn't the Appalachians by, Virginia? We have a chance to prove a new model for society that offers people a higher quality of life and greater opportunity, Lore said in a statement. When I look out 30 years from now, I imagine Equitism serving as a blueprint for other cities and even the world. And Telosa being a place of pride for all who live there. Fuck it, I'd live there. You bring them taxes down, you get rid of them fucking bike lanes, and let me think of something you could add to a city. Wi-Fi wherever I go, and I'll move there. I'll fucking move there. I don't care if there's Walmart logos everywhere. This shit looks like Star Wars. Look at that. That's sweet. While the city being built is not funded, Lore handpicked renowned architects, blah, 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 blah. The first phase of construction would include 50,000 residents across 1,500 acres that would need an estimated $25 billion to be built. See, $25 billion ain't shit these days. $25 billion in these days is like 2,500. So I'm pretty sure we can get this built ASAP. We spent a lot of money elsewhere, wastefully, that could have been spent on Telosa. Did they get that from Tesla? This ambitious goal is to welcome residents by 2030. That's soon. That's less than 10 years. Lore added that Telosa will aim to be diverse with the most open, most fair, and most inclusive city in the world. Well, these are big promises. These are big promises and well-intentions. And there's a saying about well-intentions and big promises, but I don't remember it at the moment. So let's look up Telosa. I want to find this website. Have you ever heard for a... What do you call it? A Kickstarter? A Kickstarter for a whole city? What's the other one? Indiegogo. This is an Indiegogo for a whole city. Creating a more equitable and sustainable future, Telosa. That's sweet. I know I'm like kind of shitting on it, but I'm not. I'm really excited for this. To create a new city in America that sets a global standard for urban living. See, now this, I like things that raise the bar. Let me take a moment. I like things that raise the bar. I like things that shake the status quo. I like capitalism. I like competition. And if this guy builds a city, you can rest assured that China will be funding many U.S. Cities that are shitty and many Chinese cities that are very good, or maybe U.S. cities that are good too, so they can make money. So this is some of their pitch. Imagine a city. All right, I'm imagining. You always feel welcome, safe, and included, and inspired by those around you. That sounds nice. You live where you work and innovate for the future. Getting around day to day is convenient and accessible. Environment. You are always connected to nature and creating a sustainable future. You see, the one thing I think it has going for it is every other city that's ever been created has had to adapt to a modern standard, whereas this is already, well, I guess every other city has been built with their, modern standard at the time, but this is being built with a 2021 standard. This is the new shit. This ain't old shit. This is new. I like that. Give me that free air Wi-Fi. Hyperloop. What is it like to live in Telosa? Rising from the lush Central Park of Telosa, Equitism Tower is a beacon for the city. How do politics work here? Is this going to be a board of directors? This feels like cyberpunk. The inviting civic and lookout areas bring visitors and residents together. A photovoltaic roof. What the fuck? Now they're inventing words. Elevated water storage and aeroponic farms enable the structure to share and distribute all of its produces. Whoa. Is this real? It's not real, but I want it to be. It looks like Space Mexico. This looks like fucking Tatooine. Telosa streets prioritize bikes and pedestrians. Get rid of the fucking bikes. Keep the pedestrians, maybe. Lose the bikes. Slow-moving, autonomous, slow-moving. Safely share the street with people and nature. I like nature. I think our cities are missing a lot of that nature. We just want a fucking tree or a bush every now and then. Really, we do as people. A fucking puddle will suffice. Training centers, cultural institutions, and retail split out onto the street where shaded public areas encourage residents to come together. Are you telling me that the shade is being planned for in the city? I love that. I love that. Currently, can there be all parking spots that are shaded? I don't want to have a warm car. I don't want to go back to a warm, hot-ass car ever again. Every place that I can park my vehicle should be shaded. Can we get that? Mark Floor. Currently scouting within the USA. Built from scratch. Location. So they don't know where it's going to be yet. 30,000 acres. 10 to 20 years, 150,000 acres, and 40 years size. I don't know what that means. 1 million people, and in 20 years it'll be 5 million people, I guess. Vibrant. 33 people per acre. Equivalent to San Francisco. I've never been to San Francisco. World-class experiences. Innovation. Education. Praying the next year. See, the thing about having a world-class experience and destinations that people want to go to is not always, because we see with places like, New Disney Worlds and Legoland, Japan's and whatnot, people will go to new places, but more so people are interested in like the history of a place and the people and the centuries of time that it took to be in that place and develop its culture. So one thing this is lacking right off the bat is that sense of old world. But maybe it's going to be it is going to be a whole new world city. It has its own new world culture. The culture of the internet. The world culture. While the current economic system is a growth engine, it has led to increasing inequality. Yes, it's true. 80% of the USA live in urban areas. Why a city? I don't know. Urban blueprint created on a blank canvas. Why a new city? 1 billion people threatened by climate change by 2050. Why a sustainable city? Oh, okay, now this is go back. Yeah. No. Let me go back to that one. There was one particular pane that had me interested. Woo! Too many closed-door decisions. Backroom deals with lobbyists and special interests affect decision-making, which impacts citizens. They're calling out the whole fucking world. They're calling out America. Hey, we like those backroom backroom decisions and backdoor deals. Keep those. Government that doesn't put your needs first. Yeah, we are sick of it. No regard for environmental impact. There is no regard. Students are being left behind. Fuck the students. Unprepared workforce. Hey, I'm still reading. Many of our workers are unprepared and lack necessary skills. All the jobs are sales and customer service. How many people are really lacking that? Unaffordable health care. These guys are trying to rewrite the whole book, which is exciting. I'm just being critical of it because there's a lot of promises here. And the promises of too many closed door decisions, that's a big promise. You're promising there's going to be no corruption in this new city in 2021. Are you telling me that none of the governors are going to have affairs with their mistresses in this new city and sweep it under the rug? Or siphon funds from the public library? I don't believe that. But we'll see. What else you got for me? Safe communities, ample housing. Getting around is going to be easy because I don't even have to hear. Getting around in big cities sucks. Getting around in Chicago, in the downtown, during rush hour, any hour, sucks. So this place is going to be built with that in mind, which is cool. With safe communities. You don't really get to dictate safe communities, though, unless you put a cop on every corner and make it like fucking, I don't know, Tropico 6. You know, when you just have a guard tower on every corner and you squash every rebellion. Telosa will be open, fair, and inclusive. That's great. That's nice. Imagine a city where fresh water is stored, cleaned, and reused on site. Hey, nice. Now we're getting our water from Chicago, where I live. Renewable resources power the city. Create a distributed, flexible, and expandable renewable energy system. Oh, it's going to be a lot of renewable energy you're going to have to use to power a city. How many wind turbines do you need for that? How windy does it get in the desert? Autonomous cars create safe, flexible streetscapes. Ooh, Spider-Man. Imagine an area where citizens are provided with honest and clear financials. That's not up to... How much of this can be controlled by local government? How much of it is going to be fucked over by the federal government? That's what I want to know. Because the federal government just gets the say, right? Right? The environment is always a priority. Yeah, let's take care of the environment. We like that. Citizens are informed and politicians are accountable. You see, I like the idea where a bunch of like-minded people like this, because now you're promising the perfect society. So are only perfect society people are going to move to this city and make it perfect like you're saying? I don't know. I hope so. I don't think so. Imagine a city where every student has access to the best teachers and resources. So that'd be something. Quality training programs preparing people. So it sounds like a ground up society. It's not just a city anymore. You're promising a society, which is cool. People easily access needs within a 15-minute commute. You're telling me I can get it from west side to the east side in 15 minutes at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., and get my coffee? Sign me up. Sign me up. I'm pumped. Talking about Dancer got me pumped. Imagine living in a city with an economic system in which citizens have a stake in the land. As the city does better, the residents do better. Ooh. See, now this is interesting. Now I'm an econ major. I see economics, and it grabs me. It takes a hold of me, and every time I get out, it just keeps pulling me back in. Equitism is inclusive growth. Everyone has the... Hey, I'm still reading. Slow down, Telosa. I'm reading. Everyone has the opportunity for unlimited growth. What is it, a fucking... What do you call it? A scheme? Like, what's that one health food thing that people buy into? Herbalife? What is this, Herbalife City? While the current economic system is a growth engine, it has led to increasing inequality. Yes, we've read that. Okay, let's discuss equitism. All right, I'm going to bring my... It's interesting that I wore my college hat today, because I'm going to bust out my college for this. Let's see if I can make heads or tails of this. So, I guess with equitism, you have a stake in the land, and I suppose that's kind of your fee for moving into the city, is buying your piece of land that maybe isn't exactly yours, and maybe you can move wherever you want in the city, but you need to have a stake in the actual land, which is it's a neat idea. People aren't going to be poor and moving here, mind you. So they're all for inequality and raising growth, but it seems like that growth plateau is going to start a little higher than zero. But we'll see. I'm a skeptic. An economic system, equitism, a noun. I haven't heard of this before. An economic system in which citizens have a stake in the city's land. As the city does better, the residents do better. So you are investing into this project. Imagine if all the land in Manhattan was owned by a community endowment focused on improving the quality of life for all citizens. At current estimates, the endowment would be worth over 1 trillion and could generate over 60 billion every year in income to invest back into the building and physical and human capital of the city. That is 2 times the current annual spend. Just imagine for a moment the impact these additional funds and resources could have on individuals in the entire community. Let's analyze this first stanza of the Equitism manifesto. Imagine if all the land in Manhattan was owned by a community endowment focused on improving the quality of life for all citizens. Let's imagine that. I'm imagining it. Okay. There's not really much to analyze in that one. Let's go to the next one. Land is a finite resource that appreciates in value over time, in large part because of the growth and activity of the community. The land value also increases from tax dollars that residents pay to support the city for roads, bridges, tunnels, subways, and other infrastructure. Therefore, since the community is the primary growth driver of land values, it seems fair that the community should benefit from the increase in land prices. So this is kind of like almost like communism, but for land. Am I getting it right? Well, it isn't, because you could still own private land. I'm guessing you could still buy a plot of land in this city and do what you will with the permits and whatnot. But in this case, the landowners are the proletariat, and you're going to be getting something back for your trouble as long as everybody else is contributing and making the communities viable and commercially successful. Okay, I'm thinking about that. I'm mulling it over. It sounds interesting. Equitism is a new economic model. A new economic model? Woo! Based on the premise that citizens should have a stake in the land, and as the city does better, the residents do better. It retains the same system of capitalism, but with an additional funding mechanism for enhanced services. Through the land with equitism, we will create a much higher level of social services offered to residents without additional burdens on taxpayers. Okay, I already came up with a problem. This whole time I'm sniffing for problems. So, this is a bold claim. A new economic model based on the premise that citizens should have a stake in the land, and as the city does better, the residents do better. That sounds really interesting. But it's still a capitalistic society. See, what I'm scared of is corporations or one rich motherfucker buying all the fucking land in Telosa, or buying more than they should, and giving them a higher stake, which is bound to, I mean, this city is not going to turn away investors, right? No matter how big and evil they are, I can assume, because they want to get this thing built. And to wait on, Okay, bear with me. My phone died. But as I was saying, to kind of rely on all the funding coming from honest tax-paying people, residents, I think that's a little unrealistic, right? I doubt that this whole place is going to be funded solely with just, Joe Schmo and Joanna Schmozana, right? With equitism, we would create a much higher level of social service offered to residents, but it's interesting, and I think it theoretically could work without additional burdens on taxpayers. Okay, so I guess with people owning the land, it encourages more community, right? If they own the land, it's not owned by a bunch of corpos, people from cyberpunk corporate people. Equitism in Telosa starts with land and will be driven by city's values. Initially, we will find uninhabited land that will we will find inhabited land and destroy them that will allow us to fully demonstrate the power of this idea. This land will be donated to a community endowment which will use the increasing land values to fund enhanced city services. The building blocks of prosperity: higher quality education, greater access to home ownership, improved health and wellness, more innovative business opportunities, and expanded jobs and retraining. This will provide wider access to opportunity and a greater shared prosperity for all citizens. Bold. This is a bold claim. There are many successful examples of the endowment model, and the concept of land return value being reinvested back into the community to fund essential public services. Some of these examples include Alaska with their oil money they give you, or the gold money. I think it's oil money. Utah. Nearly 20 cities throughout Pennsylvania and leading universities such as Stanford are using land and other finite natural resources to provide essential support and education and other key areas that strengthen communities. While we plan to focus on a much larger scale and a broader social mission, their success gives us confidence with this strategied approach. Simply put, Equitism is inclusive growth. This sounds like a lot of good buzzwords. Not saying it's not good or bad, or I believe it or don't. It's just very, it sounds very pleasant to the ear. Let's finish up. This is their diversity, equity, and inclusion statement. Telosa will advance our mission statement by creating, implementing, and maintaining an equitable and inclusive city that facilitates the integration. Oh, I can't fucking, it's too much. It's too much. But, oh, this is a whole story on Mark. I'm not even on the right page anymore. We'll read more into Mark and his gang later. But I want to talk about kind of this. You're going to need more than one graph to... You're going to need more than one graph about your equality and growth shooting at a perfect 1-to-1 angle. A 90-degree angle. No, not a 90-degree angle. It's just... the best way I could put it is a 1-in-1. Because every time it goes to the right, it goes to the up 1. Which is just very pleasant to the eye. It's going to take more than that to convince me of your new economic model. You see, because your promise... Whoa, there's like a whole fucking... Well, I'm glad on them that they have a nice... Ready to move in 2030? Can I click on that? Oh! Woo! Yeah, I'll fucking... Hey, let me sign up. Christian. I'm going to blur this out. I'm signing... Hey, fuck it. Fuck everything I said. I'm signing up to move in Telosa. 47... I'm going to sign up and see what else I can learn about this city. As I was saying, it's going to take more than a couple of graphs to sell me on this thing. And I hear all of the goods, but none of the bads. I need to hear some bads first before I make a decision. But my areas of interest are the jobs and the economy. What else did I express interest in? Housing. Let's see what those houses look like, right? And the mobility. The mobility? I mean, I'm going to get around either way. Community, public safety. Let's focus on jobs and economy. And actually, let's just mark them all. I'm interested in all of it. The Telosa. Share your ideas. Free Wi-Fi in the air. Oh, restrooms with no purchase necessary. Public restrooms. I'm back to the dice, so we got to wrap up this video. Okay, I'm going to do more research into Telosa. And, I submitted my application, and I hope they get back to me soon. But, thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll go ahead and see you on the next video. Make sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. It was a longer video, but I appreciate it.